Well, hello, and thanks for watching another episode of ARFCOM News, your twice-weekly dose of the finest 2A propaganda. 2 years ago, the Illinois Supreme Court upheld that state's assault weapon ban because Jabba the Prick bribed two of the justices with $1 million each, and they obstinately refused to recuse themselves. But the FPC, SAF, NSSF, and several other plaintiffs have brought a federal suit against Illinois, and it will be argued in front of the 7th Circuit soon. But what's really interesting is the DOJ wants to help the good guys. They want to help the good guys.
Date is the first time for everything.
I know, this is truly surprising. I mean, it shouldn't be. Trump has been trying to look pro-gun for quite some time, but his regime has failed to do much of anything that actually benefits gun owners in any substantive way. Now the DOJ wants to present oral arguments in favor of the plaintiffs arguing against the ban. Back in June, they dropped an amicus brief in which they argued 3 years ago the Supreme Court issued a landmark decision meant to break a habit developed by some states of treating the Second Amendment as a second-class right subject to an entirely different body of rules than the other constitutional rights. Regrettably, not every state got the message. Just a few months after Bruin, Illinois outlawed some of the most commonly used rifles and magazines in America.
All animals are equal.
If the DOJ's oral arguments are effective, this really would benefit gun owners. The 7th Circuit includes just Illinois, Indiana, and Wisconsin, and no such law exists in the latter two states. But Illinois is certain to appeal if they lose, giving us a path to take this to the Supremes. There are already circuit court rulings upholding salty boy bans, so if we can win here, SCOTUS will likely take up the issue.
Give them both barrels, man.
But hey, it would be impossible for us to produce quality 2A propaganda without sponsors, so let's pay some bills. Today's video is sponsored by Vortex.
The proven Crossfire sight is now available in new flavors. Same great, affordable, bomb-proof reflex sight with a 2 MOA reticle and 50,000 hour battery life backed up by the Vortex no questions asked VIP warranty, but now it's available with a tan finish or a green dot.
Franklin Armory just killed the NFA, or at least they dismembered it. Full disclosure, Franklin has sponsored our show in the past, though they did not sponsor this episode. What they have done here has more or less eliminated the short barrel rifle provision of the NFA.
Don't play with my emotions!
If you watch this channel much, you know I'm not particularly prone to hyperbole and exaggeration. If I think other PewTubers are hyping something too much, I'll tell you so. But this move really is pretty big, and it's not limited to just Franklin products. But to explain it, I have to start way back in the before times of 2018. That year was my first SHOT Show, and I got a chance to talk with the Franklin folks about the Reformation. Franklin teased the Reformation before SHOT, leading to a lot of speculation about how it might avoid the NFA. Turns out, the Reformation had straight-cut rifling, which meant that it didn't really meet the definition of a rifle or a shotgun under the NFA. But the Fed boys hated that, so they stamped their feet and insisted it was a short-barrel rifle anyway. Then Franklin rolled out the antithesis, which was chambered in .45 Colt and .410 bore. Franklin argued it could not be a rifle because the definition of a rifle in the NFA requires that it be designed to fire only a single projectile. Because the antithesis was designed to fire a single projectile or a shot shell, it couldn't be a rifle.
Don't use my lines
I'm
against me.
using your line.
ATF wasn't about to let a silly thing like the law get in the way of enforcing the law, though, so in 2021, the ATF insisted it was a short barrel rifle as well. Fast forward through some legal troubles, and Franklin Armory has secured a court ruling and a settlement with the ATF, which forced the feds to acknowledge both the Reformation and the antithesis are simply firearms under the GCA and not rifles under the NFA, so they can't possibly be SBRs. The ATF obediently issued an open letter to dealers advising that neither the Reformation nor the antithesis fall under the NFA. But I just told you that Franklin dismembered the NFA, and I even said I wasn't being hyperbolic about it, yet so far all I've told you about are niche guns that either fire unusual cartridges or keyhole at 100 yards.
My emotions are involved.
My emotions!
Okay, here's the exciting part. You can fire more than one projectile from pretty darn near any cartridge, including 5.56. If Franklin were to design a version of the antithesis to chamber duplex or multiplex ammo, that would mean the firearm is not designed to fire only a single projectile and therefore is not a rifle under the NFA.
Suck it, nerd!
Even if you never own any duplex ammo or fire a single round through the gun, it doesn't matter that it is used for only single projectile ammo. It doesn't matter that it was designed to fire normal ammo. What matters is that it was not only designed for normal ammo. And that's where it gets real interesting, because this legal principle is not limited to just Franklin products. Anybody can start making ARs that are designed to fire duplex ammo right now. And since a bog standard AR can already fire duplex ammo, they really don't have to change much to make it designed to fire both ammo types. Naturally, some consumers might prefer to have the peace of mind that comes with owning a firearm that has the same name laser etched on it that shows up in the ATF letter, what for dealing with skeptical 5.0s and whatnot. So Franklin will be licensing the antithesis name for other companies for various parts. This is probably where you're thinking, wait, this means I'd have to buy a whole new gun if I want to get in on this flaunting of the NFA thing, right?
Nay, nay.
Not so fast. You could just replace the barrel or, I don't know, maybe the bolt, and you could reasonably argue it is designed to fire duplex ammo. And before you completely discount duplex or multiplex ammo, consider that multiple projectile ammo is shaping up to be one of the better solutions to the drone problem.
I'm going back to Ukraine.
Now, you would have a pretty hard time claiming that AR pistol you already have in your safe is designed to fire multiple projectiles, but if this legal argument holds up at scale out in the wild, it will quickly make it a moot point from a pragmatic perspective, because there would be no way for a cop to tell from looking at your gun whether it would technically count or not. Hey guys, quick little last minute update. I found out just this morning the ATF put out a tweet saying they believe the antithesis and the Reformation are only considered not NFA devices when they're in their original configuration. Now remember, with antithesis, that was a 45 Colt 410 bore caliber. So that what they seem to be saying is they disagree with Franklin's assertion that a 5.56, which is designed to fire multiple projectiles, would also not be a rifle. Problem is, that flies in the face of the legal logic used to get to this point. So it sounds like ATF remains addicted to losing and they want to go back to court again. We'll see how this all shakes out. You can count on me to keep you updated. I'm still kind of chewing on this idea, so there could be aspects to it that I haven't thought of yet. I'd love to hear your thoughts down below. Now, before I give you that moment of zen I know you're waiting for, I wanted to let you know we have completely redesigned the forum. Now, I am not allowed to tell you the URL where ARFCOM lives because the tube of yous has no limit to their contempt for you. I think you'll like the new, cleaner look, and we added quite a few features as well. If you have never visited ARFCOM before, well, it is the largest firearm community on the interwebs. If you need to know which obscure rail will clear your limited run can with the smallest possible gap, you're going to find the answer on ARFCOM. You don't need a paid account to read or post, but it occurred to me the other day that we don't use a crowdfunding site like many other channels do. And rather than give a cut to a potentially anti-gun company like Patreon, if you think what we're doing is good for the country and you want us to help keep doing it by flipping us a few quatloos, the absolute best way to donate to us is to buy a team membership, which gives you access to exclusive areas. But here I am going on about us when you want that moment of zen. Hello, friend. Do you like pews and pew-related things? Would you like to help us keep delivering you pure American propaganda at the low, low price of free? We literally couldn't pay our bills without our sponsors, so do us a solid and get yourself something nice from them. You deserve it. I love you. Well, hello, and thanks